Hello nerds, welcome back to Pokémon Violet. Today we're going to the lighthouse or whatever. This video in particular is going to be post-commentary because my audio got corrupted. Because of course it would. But anyways, I'm just gonna essentially be watching myself play this and try and explain what's going on. Maybe even talk about the game a little bit, since now future me knows what it ends up being like. I think I'm just wandering around, learning the controls or whatever. But anyways, pretty sure at this point in the game I was... Oh, I remember this. I was trying to go on and find to catch that fletchling because it was... I eventually won a Talonflame as the fire type for my team. But that didn't go well and I gave up fairly quickly. Just like, well, how the hell do I get up there? So I decided to just go on with the quest. One thing about the items that I should mention is that they're pretty easy. They're just way too easy to find. I think you could craft TMs later on, and a little bit later. It's coming up soon, but you could craft TMs once you get to the first Poke Center, and it is just... Oh yeah, I decided to stop doing the voices around this time just because I just didn't care for the Pokemon story that doesn't exist. But this is where you go discover what happened here. And then you just, yeah. I'm pretty sure at some point I tried going over there to see if I could just jump off, but then it activated a cutscene. Cause you know it's an open world game, and you know it didn't matter because it may not have let me jump off, but as you'll see, oh yeah. Also, I commented on this, like, there was a little bit of spazzing on the guy here. And I was like, if you're gonna make me do a close-up on this, why have it be broken? And then of course, you know, I just defy gravity of my iPhone 7. I was upset that I couldn't catch a Houndour yet. I like that Pokemon. But anyways, you get to encounter the legendary of this game and just kind of chill with it for a little bit. And then you give it a sandwich, which, you know, I don't know Pokemon anatomy or anything, but I don't know how you don't see them eat human food that often. But I guess it's good for them. It's something we're learning now. It's baloney, you'll love it. But, yeah. In my opinion, the game, like any Pokemon game, just draws out the tutorial for far too long. And it kind of hinders the beginning because of that. I'll be honest, I did not start having fun till essentially I got out of the academy. Because that's when you get out of the tutorials, and that's when the game just gets a lot better. Because you're allowed to do things now, you're allowed to have fun. And I just wish they wouldn't go so hard on the tutorials or some of this stuff. Just... This isn't too bad, but the tutorials, man, there's just too many. you press the X button to throw the ball, even though we already have a button prompt showing you that the X button clearly does something with the Pokeball. We just need to reiterate it because we just assume that you can't process things at all, remotely at all, and we just assume that your brain did. But, you know, I guess you're keeping in mind the lowest common denominator. That's accessibility. Well, anyways, you go through the Houndour Cave, which I gotta keep this in mind because I want to come back here and catch one of these guys. Did I try going up the mountain? I don't remember. This happened like 2 days ago. Oh, yeah. I remember this. I remember being really annoyed that they just slow you down as soon as you approach the guy. They just cap your speed and make it... They don't even cap it to the right amount, so it'll keep going back and forth between running and walking. And it's just... It's irritating. So, for as much as I've played so far, luckily they don't do that anymore. So that's nice. Because it's just, like... And then this whole sequence here where you're just sitting in the cave and just walking at a snail's pace, it's just really... Oh, it's just really irritating. And sometimes I just wish that the guy ahead of me would just move forward a little bit faster so I can consistently run behind, maybe collect some items. But anyways, I remember getting here and seeing the Houndour, and it's like, oh man, do I get to battle you and catch you? And it's like, no. Just watching it from down below and my low graphics. Until you get up close, of course. Graphics get a little better than... Oh, look at me complaining about Nintendo game getting graphics. But, yeah, no, it's not... If they had more items, I guess, then it'd be fine to move at this really slow speed. But I think they should have just made it... They should have just made the sequence faster. Because, oh my goodness, it just draws it. It draws it out for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes even. You get to this point where he just kicks their ass, they all run away. But it just goes on and on. And you know, to this exact sequence, it just kind of summarizes the game. It's not fun until you get past the tutorials. Then it gets pretty fun, honestly. If you're fine with surviving like an hour and a half of non-stop tutorials, then you'll get to the actual good part of this game, which is you just get to go run off and have fun, which is what it should be. One thing that does get annoying is when you're later on you ride this guy and you just kind of stub your toe. You stub your toe on like a little rickety or something, and boy oh boy. Oh, I remember getting baited by this. You'll see. But anyways, I go on thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna get my ass kicked in. I'm like, what? At first I thought something else was gonna happen. So at first it's like, oh man, is this actually gonna be a battle where I get my ass beat? But no, this just happens instead. Houndour's like, come on, are you gonna fight? I'm like, no dude, I'm level 5. And this guy proceeds to kick his ass. And he calls in his pack. And they don't do nothing, they just bark. But anyways, it gets fun. I promise it. I can't say how long it stays fun for, because I haven't gone that far in. But it does get fun. And it might stay that way. And I hope it does, because then I'd consider this fairly good. And then, you know, the loading screens. They're inconsistent. Sometimes they're long, sometimes they're short. And sometimes you'll jump over a wall and get sent to a loading screen you don't expect, but that's not till later. No, yeah, and then, of course, they're not gonna give you a powerful guy this early on. Which, that was one critique I noticed of when they showed off the trailers. Was they're like, oh, you get a legendary at the start of the game? It's like, I don't think you're gonna really get it. Because otherwise, yeah, that'd be pretty stupid. And that changed my opinions quite quickly at the beginning of the game. I went off on some tangent about how you don't actually get any choice in these games. That's what that was about, but I don't remember. Didn't even tell her what to do. Yeah, I'm just that good of a Pokemon trainer. It's the second wind of that sandwich. I would commentate about more interesting things, but there's nothing interesting going on, really. Yeah, I guess now would be a good time. Recently, I've had a dentist appointment, and it was just a cleaning, nothing too bad, right? But one thing that is always really irritating is how they'll just scrape your teeth with the rusty metal hook. They'll bring it out and just, and it's like the weirdest feeling, and it's not rusty, but it sounds that way when it's scraping against your dirty old teeth. But I did that. They give you your goodie bag of whatever, the toothbrush, and like the little smiling tooth guy. That brand, the smiling tooth guy, is like, brush your teeth twice a day, don't get a loss. It's like, yeah. It's not that I forget, it's I get lazy. And then you meet up with this guy who acts like an asshole at first, but then he just ends up also having a shallow character. But, you know, that's not what you play Pokemon for. You at this point, you just kind of expect the story to be shit. And that's mostly why I skip through. If you care about the story in Pokemon, good for you, but there's not much to care about. That's the whole full extent of that. Really, what's with the form? I met it in the gulag, sir. Saved its life. Anyways, this, like, entire exchange just feels pointless. During which you do it, and later on it still feels pointless. Oh wait, I guess the point of it is they try and tease you about trying to use it in battle. It's true forms in battle, but you can't do it yet because you're a noob. Oh yeah, and and he's like, beat me in a battle and you can have the legendary. Is like, oh okay. And he like throws out a little shitty Pokemon and shit, like, oh, well, how'd you get it? You just find it on the streets. It says how later, but not giving it to you unless you win in the battle. is all about cooking and whatnot. Oh, okay, I was level 6, so I really didn't do much. One thing I do want to mention is you gain XP so fast in this game, it is crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure by the end of this, my starter ends up at like almost level 11. At the end of this video, maybe it's a little bit less, like level 9 or something. But not only that, because of the forced EXP share, you also end up with all your other Pokemon being at weird levels compared to. It's like I just want them all to be the same level, but they all have different XP rates and whatnot. Essentially, still not enjoying the forced XP share, but it's a critique that's been there for a while. Well, anyways, he concedes because he realizes Pokemon are shit. And then, of course, they're gonna flatter the hell out of you, as any Pokemon character does. And you get the Pokédoll, you get the Pokeball, and it somewhat appears in your party, but not fully, because, like I said, you're a noob. And then you go on, and then maybe you get to play the game here soon. I'm kidding. You actually have to go up to the. Essentially, once you get to that little Pokestop looking thing there, that's the Poke Center, and then that's essentially when you get to start playing the game for the first time. It's short-lived though. You go back to tutorials very quickly. Oh, who knows what he's laying on? Yeah, cool. Looking at it the second time, I'm still not interested. Because the characters just say sweet nothings, and you just nod your head yes and press the A button constantly. And then here's another critique that's about to come up. Essentially, you say that, but they make you look at something in its very far away state, and it's like, you know, older games would try and hide when they'd make things go lower quality, and this thing's just presenting it. It's like, here's our shitty far away graphics. It's like, yeah, I'm sure it looks good up close, but why are you showing me this now? And I say something like Black and White 2 did it better because it was all pixels already. And it looked nice when they showed you Castilia City, I think that's the one. But then they just show you these really jagged mountains, and I'm like, oh, it's beautiful, can't you see it? It's like, yeah, if I went outside in real life. And then once you go over there, you can actually play the game. That's when you start having fun. One thing I do like, of course I will like it, because the music, of course, that's one thing that Pokemon will proceed to not get wrong, is their music. If the music ever goes awry, that's when you know that the Pokemon games are truly dead. They're truly gone. If the music doesn't work, it's all over, man. That's the only thing they have going for them. If they lose that, then the series, the whole game series is over. Anyways, you finally see your first trainer battle, and I think I go on talking about, like, wow, really, you're not getting half the trainers don't force you. And I just thinking, it'd probably be easier to have like a little proximity thing to where if you stepped into that, they'd walk over towards you and engage in a battle. But no, you can just skip all the trainers now. Probably make this the easiest game ever to Nuzlocke, but no one's keeping count. I'm gonna try and stay under leveled for the gyms, but with how it is, it's probably not going to be easy to do that. Because they just make it way too easy. I will regret to eat those birds later when I stumble into an area I shouldn't be going yet later on, but you know, that's also later. One thing that I would like that would be neat, I'm pretty sure they did this in Legends Arceus, but when you are in a wild battle in particular, the trainer battles, you know, that's a different thing, but when you're in a wild battle, like random, like, actually, you know what, I'm changing my mind on that. That wouldn't be a good idea. That's a bad idea. Oh yeah, I think this is where I drowned. Because you see all these guys, and there's Cooper. You see all these guys going around, and then you're like, oh, I could swim too, and then you suffocate and drown and never come back. Well, anyways, here's the actual gameplay. Woohoo! Luckily for everyone involved, this is the only time in the recent future, in the near future, where you'll have to deal with post-commentary me, because this is the benefit to anyone who's planning on doing anything and recording out there. Record your audio separately from your video, because if not, this whole video would have been gone and I would have had to log on to a different account and try replaying it, and you know, that wouldn't be very blind anymore. I guess it isn't now, but you still get the original gameplay, at least. But anyways, I catch Fido because I don't know if they tampered with the catch rates in this game, but it just feels really easy to catch everything. Like I barely throw it, and the Pokemon just wanted to crawl on the ball. I don't think I've missed one throw yet, and that's all the way up to what's going to be episode 4. I will not have missed a single Pokemon throw, and I don't know why, man. Like, I think they just make it too easy. Like, I think they might have changed it or something. I don't know. But they're just getting in my balls, and you know, they're not even asking for consent. That worries me. Well, anyways, we're gonna tell you how this works, even though you could probably guess. I just wish there was an option at the beginning of this game asking if you were new to Pokemon, and if you weren't. And if you were not new to Pokemon, they would only explain the things new to this game, such as the TM machine. I don't know why I said on this. I was probably complaining about the tutorials or something. Oh yeah, I don't get the idea behind these league points. I think it's just a way to earn even more money, so you can spend it on even more things. I haven't even used them yet because I have plenty of money. Maybe I don't know. Then you get your starter balance. Wish banks did that at IRL, but they give you some stuff, and you know, they teach you how to do the quote-unquote multiplayer, but it's, as you'll notice later, it's quite clunky. You can't battle easily. They make it really hard to do that. Essentially what you have to do is you have to exit that menu, go into the battle menu and set up a link. Share that to the person, the link that you create. And then once you put in the same link, then you hit the battle option. You can't do it while in the Union Circle. You can't throw your Pokemon out to the other person like you'd expect. And it just makes the whole process clunky, like something that could have been easy, because you're already connected. Why not have a battle just out there? But no, you have to do it. You have to do it through a separate menu entirely, which makes the whole process much more annoying. Well, anyways, enough with that rant. The moment I see that yellow off my screen, I'll be a little bit happier on how the online isn't that good. But one thing I noticed about Pokemon games that implement a new idea, also nice frame rate, person walking over there. But one thing I notice is whenever they implement a new idea, for the first time they half-ass it to see if people enjoy that new idea. And what I don't understand is, like, people will enjoy it more if you put more effort into the idea for the first time. But if you want to get a response, an idea that I had was just, like, post some ideas you have for the future game on some sort of community thing. And then judge the response from there to see whether you should implement it or not. Not half-ass it in the game that comes out, because then that'll make the idea not as good. But essentially the whole idea, the whole thing about this rant I'm going on is that the idea is good. I obviously want to do multiplayer Pokemon, but the execution is done poorly. Just like Legends Arceus when it first went open world. The idea was awesome, as it is now, but the execution just wasn't. There was no trainers to battle. There was, like, the entire thing was catching the guys. And then once you did that, there was not much more to it. And if you like catching the guys, then there you go. There's a Pokemon game for you. But if you like doing more than just that, then it might not be the best one for you. Oh no, that's where I drown. But yeah, this one though fixes that a little bit. The open world's better. There's some trainers to battle. Obviously, there's the gyms and the multiple quote-unquote stories, as we'll get into it later. I think I just go. I actually start going around playing in the game by exploring here. Probably should have got that guy, because then I would have figured out what he's about, like his type and everything, because I just can't tell by looking at him. I thought he'd be a water type, so when I battle him later, I thought he'd be a water type, but he wasn't. Hey, you're cool. Yeah, that dude's a little groomer, so you always gotta be careful. He's not really. He does give off that vibe, though, if you understand what I mean. Anyways, this is what I mean by the idea of stubbing your toe on these guys. But this one I did run into intentionally. But the other guys, like those little worms, I didn't want to run into those. But boy oh boy, if I was on the mount that I get later on, I would have, because you just can't see them. Which I guess it's fine. It almost makes up for there not being random encounters. And I guess the other wild Pokemon cheered you on is just yelling at me and not doing anything. But anyways, I catch this guy because, you know, Fletchling's flipping awesome. One of the Gen 6 Pokemon they actually like. They actually have a few good ones in there, they just didn't make that many. But all in all, once you get out of the tutorial, never mind, I'm just repeating myself now. That's what happens once you run out of your rants. I haven't even tried the crafting yet, because I haven't had a reason to. It's only TMs, as far as I can tell. So I don't even know what items do what, and whatnot. I don't know, I guess I'll try that next on my... I'll try that next once we get back to the live version of me where I am right now. But anyways, I stubbed my toe on this guy, so I proceed to kill it. And I'm trying to not kill that many wild Pokemon because you get so much XP, like, see, already level 9. And normally, I think that's about what you get normally, if you were just leveling up one guy. But the problem is, I don't have any excuse to bring out other guys because of the forced shared experience. And that's why I think that's a reason it's bad in game design. If I could at least turn it off, and I would, I'd force myself to turn it off because to me it causes more inconveniences than it solves. Well, I guess I wouldn't force turn it off because there are times and places for it, but I just wish I had the option to turn it off. But I don't. No, I just have an excuse to purposely power level one guy because because I don't have a reason to bring out my other Pokemon because there's no need to. You just get enough XP from having one of your Pokemon out. And I think that gets rid of the point of having multiple Pokemon to have on a team. Because if you're gonna give me enough XP, then I might as well just have the one Pokemon. Well, anyways, I think I talked to this guy and proceeded to go beat up more trainers. Because he's gonna promise me a really cool reward. Spoiler alert, it isn't. I do like this animation though. The Poke Center one. And I also like how they're going back to the they did this in Unova and I enjoyed that. I like how they're going back to having the Poke Center and the Pokemart on the same area. Because I'm not gonna go to both at once, but I am glad that I don't have to go between one and the other. Like if I got done catching a Pokemon, I don't have to go to the healing center to heal that Pokemon I just caught, and then go all the way across the town to buy more Pokeballs at the Pokemart that is a mile away for some gosh darn reason. In particular, though, I am gonna compliment it again. I do like the battle music. It just sounds nice. The rival music is not my favorite in particular, but the regular battle music and the Team Star one that you'll see in the next episode, in my opinion, are two of my favorites so far. Though I can't wait to hear the gym battle music. Anyways, I just proceed to keep kicking trainers' asses because, you know, Pokemon's never hard here. The problem is I can't even pretend to add a challenge mode just because it gives me so much XP. One way I could do a challenge mode is just by having one Pokemon. I could probably win, at least in this beginning area, because it doesn't seem to get too much harder unless you go into areas you're not meant to yet. But I just start hunting people to beat up. But I think once I get through the base game, I might do a little bit afterwards. Anyways, maybe I'll try and catch all the Pokemon. Who knows? There's a lot of those guys, those Pokemon. So, you know, I just hope that there's more Pokemon than it seems so far. Because, to be fair, all the Gen A ones are still new to me because I never played that game. Because I have Sword. I don't even know which one I have because I don't bother looking at it. And I tried playing it, but then the tutorials, man, it's just the tutorials always turn me off of these games. And it gets like just too many tutorials. Too many tutorials. And you know, if the Pokemon Company would listen to this tiny little person who's speaking about their game, that is one thing in particular I would suggest to them is less tutorials, please. Because there's just too many. I'm drowning in tutorials. Also, Thunder Wave is pretty cool. It's okay. It makes sense for the point in the game we're in. So I will give it that. What am I doing there? Oh yeah, I was testing out to see if you could approach him from the back. Which you can, but you know, it's all the same. Oh yeah, and I go off like, can I register my birthday? I don't know what that would do. Maybe they just scream happy birthday when you log on. Maybe they just do something else, but they might give you an item. Who knows? I don't want to give Game Freak my credentials though. Nintendo already has them. Game Freak doesn't need to know too. They probably already do. The database can be shared, I imagine. Oh yeah, I go into this. I don't go into too much here, because there's essentially episode 4 is gonna be dedicated about that multiplayer aspect entirely. I don't critique it much because, well, I was going on about it. But anyways, I think this is the end, yeah. So I hope you enjoy my audio not working, and I will see you in episode 3. Peace.